I will be there, man, despite everything you said.
Don't eat the hummus.
I think Shuki knows how to cook, to be honest with you. I think he knows.
No, it was a joke that he would lace it with something.
No, but still, I take the risk. There's a good guy somewhere behind all this veneer.
Not when it's come to another. To the new. All Arabs should be dead.
Shuki, I know. You're right.
Subscribe now for peace and joy, equilibrium, balance, and stillness in your life. Subscribe now. Take the deepest breath of the day. This video will bring you peace and joy now.
You're more than welcome to try.
See? That wasn't hard.
You're more than welcome to try. In Texas, we're very, very simple download.
This is your daily ASMR. Subscribe now.
Just put your foot in my yard. Amen
This is
to
your
that.
daily ASMR video for relaxation.
All right, moving on.
Enjoy now. Subscribe now. And peace and blessings.
Are these rooms getting a little too boring for you today, Patty?
Subscribe.
I'm just trying to switch it up.
Daily ASMR video for
Yeah, but like he's always in there and he's all like chill and he agrees with the stupidity and like
Because it's a right there.
and make me your martyr about I defended you because it really has nothing to do that it's you. It was just bullshit that was going on that day and I would have done it if it was anybody. But like some of the things you talk about in that room, I'm a little on the fence with you these days, not gonna lie.
It's okay.
I'm a little bit on the fence.
I'm
No, it's not okay. No, it actually is not okay. No,
Would you prefer I leave? I can leave.
no, you can stay. I don't care what you do. Stop. I don't care what you do. I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
you know, like, you... I don't care.
Okay.
Let it go and say I am gay. Subscribe.
Nobody gonna cry over you.
Daily ASMR
I'm fine with that, Shuki.
The peace within you is now. Go within. Take the deepest breath.
So, Yumi, what do you think of the Lebanon option?
Let it go and say I am gay.
Lebanon option as far as accepting some of the alloys.
Yeah.
23,000.
Yeah.
I think you guys should get a gold star for opening your door to help.
As long as they're not Hezbollah. If they're Hezbollah, then we have a problem again.
I would say probably aligned with Hezbollah. So it's not like we know the allies are Assad's regime, but we're partners with Hezbollah. Hezbollah came in and fought the Syrian civil war on their behalf. So I mean, now of course and now of course they're going to come in and
take a deep breath right
now they're going to help out their buddies. So it's basically the Hezbollah faction of the Lebanese government saying, hey, we'll you guys, we'll help you over here. You're our ally. I don't know if that's good for Israel, to be fair. I actually don't know if it's good for Lebanon as far as like moving towards, not being under control from foreign actors. Because, these Alawites, they're going to be connected with Iran. They're going to be, part of that, at least mixed into it. I'm sure a lot of them are women and children or families, but I don't know how it plays out, Fatty. And it's unfortunate, but I would say that it's going to be getting tougher and tougher on everybody in the region because
please subscribe now.
I don't know why even the Arabs can't get along with the Arabs and the Muslims can't get along with the Muslims.
This is your subscribe now ASMR.
No, I actually would like to see more. I would like to see more.
Please subscribe.
What we saw this weekend in Syria, unfortunately, and I know that's very cold and callous to say. I think the world needs to be exposed to it. What's going on there, and the more that they are fighting with themselves, then there's less attention they can spend on this. So I hope that they continue to fight with one another. I hope that Syria evolves into even a worse civil war, where there's more of that fighting with one another. I hope that Iran gets involved in Syria, and maybe Russia could be involved there too with causing more fighting. Maybe they'll draw Turkey's attention into it, and Turkey will have to have some areas of fighting, and the more fighting that Muslims that are killing each other and paying attention to each other, the less attention that they have to spend on Israel. And in the meantime, while they're preoccupied fucking themselves in the ass, we can take care of our problem in Gaza and clean it out. And we can take care of our problem in the area, the Palestinian villages that are terrorist hotbeds in Judea, Samaria, like, Tulkarm and Jenin, for example, to clean out those terrorist hotbeds as well, and we'll have less attention. And quite frankly, like conversely, I bet you that all the jihadists hope that we're doing more of that in Gaza and Judea, Samaria, so then the world will be focused on Israel and won't be focused on the thousands and thousands of dead Arab Muslims in Syria and in the other areas, because nobody cares about them anyway. So they might as well just blame everything on the Jews. That's, I don't know, my 2 cents. What do you think, Fatty?
I think the reality is that most of the people crossing the border are innocent civilians. I don't think there's going to be enough. The Alawis, they don't really have militias. It's basically Bashar's clan, which he kept at it's like a tight circle, right? It's like he didn't really have a huge inner circle. And like his soldiers turned out not to be that loyal to him. So, and they're not exactly, they're ideologically very different than the Sunni extremists and the Shia extremists. I'm not talking about the Shia. I'm talking about the typical Alawi society is actually very, very moderate. They're not as radical. They're not as conservative. So.
And why were they why was it said earlier that they were on Iran's side?
No, you have to separate the typical Alawi mentality from, Bashar's circle. Like the Shias are Iran is a very important, is their beacon, right? Is their kind of compass, their religious compass. The Alawis don't have that connection ideologically, right? What you have is you have a classic dictator story who doesn't even have a tight inner circle. Actually, if you kind of study and look at the history of Bashar and Hafiz, there was even infighting even within Bashar and Hafiz al-Assad's inner circle. So it's more of a kind of pure dictator play than it is a radicalized society play. You basically have Bashar's clan, and then all the rest of the Alawis are pretty much moderate, everyday folks. So I don't know that with Bashar gone, I don't know that there's actually a glue. Like Bashar and Hafiz single-handedly, I'm not saying they're good people, but they were great strategists. And there was a lot of doubt about Bashar, even within the Assad regime. That he wasn't tough enough and all this sort of stuff, that he wasn't really a political person or a military person. They kind of rushed him through military training. There were assassination attempts against him from within the regime. So they were kind of held together loosely and really backstopped largely by Russia. So I don't think the average Alawi person has some affinity to the average Shia or has any affinity to Iran, quite honestly.
How many pieces do you think Syria will be broken into? Because it's not going to constitute as a unified country.
It's a good question. I mean, unfortunately, if this Giuliani doesn't step up, and by all measures, it appears that he's kind of behind this massacre, it's going to be a bloodbath for the Alawites. So I don't think it gets. I think
it's a small group in Syria, right? I don't know that.
I believe they're about 10%.
Genuine questions. Okay, so if they're 10%, how many are Sunni versus Shia? And
no, they're their own sect.
No, I know Alawites is, but then there's 90% more. You said 10% are
Alawites. I think the rest is largely Sunni.
Dominant Sunni.
Yeah, maybe 80%. I gotta check that.
Are the Sunnis the ones that are killing them?
Yes.
And why? Like what make them wake up today and say, let's go slaughter some babies?
Good question. The reports are that there were some skirmishes where some armed Alawi people attacked some of Giuliani's forces, and so they hit back.
That's the claim.
I'm not sure if I believe it. It could have just been that they decided to go in and wipe some people out. But
isn't it possible that respectfully, isn't it most likely that Giuliani wants to scare them into voluntarily leaving because he would like to personally take over their land and property? And also, if they leave, he has a more unified country. So, in other words, I'm not saying that I'm correct, but open your mind to the possibility that he doesn't necessarily want to kill them. He just wants to kill enough of them to persuade them all to flee.
I could buy that, yeah. So Syria, according to ChatGPT, is 75 to 80% Sunni, some Kurdish Sunnis among them, and then 5 to 10% Christian, and then 10 to 15% Alawi, some Druze sprinkled in there.
But aren't they killing the Christians and the Alawites?
I think just the Alawites. I haven't read reports. You might be right, but I haven't read reports that they're killing the Christians. That would be unlikely, but it's possible. The reason they'd be going after the Alawites is because there's probably some groups within them that are still, quote, rebels, remnants of Bashar's regime. And where those groups are going to go is they're going to hide in Alawi towns. So they're going to go in there and they're going to wipe it out, right? They're not going to be.
Let me ask a humble question. You're obviously very knowledgeable, so I'm asking this question with respect. I'm of the view that a lot of killing is driven by money, and we don't like to talk about money as the objective, but I think a lot is motivated by money. So my humble question for you is, okay, so let's say that a Christian family owns a bunch of land, and then some other people go and kill them. Who gets the land when they're killed? Second question, when an Alawi family owns a bunch of land and then they're murdered, who gets the land? Third question, in Lebanon, if there's a bunch of Sunnis who are killed by Shiites, do the killers automatically get the land? Does a local warlord get the land? Does the central government get the land? My question is, I want to understand each time someone is killed in Syria and each time someone is killed in Lebanon, make it simple for me. Who gets the land of the murder victims?
Good question. In Syria, it will likely be the perpetrators. The killers will get the land. In Lebanon, my father's village was a Druze village. We were Christians. We had great relations for years. In fact, my family basically funded a part of the village in Lebanon, supported the Druze. During the Civil War, the Druze and Christians were at war, and so they took up arms against us. We had to leave our house, and they occupied our house for 20 years. And they refused to leave. But then the government eventually stepped in and offered us kind of some money, like offered us some money to sort of basically force sell our house. So it's not quite as lawless as what will happen in Syria right now, because what's happening in Syria right now is you've basically got a former the highest ranking Al-Qaeda official still alive running the country.
Okay, thank you for answering my question. So I would just humbly say that considering there's an immense financial motive to kill people, and there's no criminal justice, there's no system that's going to bring murderers to justice, I would just say in general, I would expect a lot more killings. I would expect the killings to be almost impossible to stop. And I think there's a useful lesson for everyone in the room. If you happen to be living in a neighborhood where anyone has an incentive to murder you because they get your property, consider moving to a safer place. Because as I travel around the world, I'm just one guy. Look, let me finish. I'm just one guy. I travel around the world, and I see people, minority groups being murdered all the time. All over the world, minority groups are murdered by people who want their cash or property. And I'm going to close by saying no one ever discusses this, but in my country, in America, that's a big part of the American Revolutionary story that no one has ever taught, which is 1/3 of the population here in America was loyal to Great Britain. And the revolutionaries in America were eager to murder them and kick them out. And their land was stolen by the founders of the United States of America. Now, that's a very anti-patriotic thing to say, but it happens to be true. And part of the motivation of the people that supported the American Revolution was the opportunity to kill rich Tories and take their property. And some of the richest families in America are only rich because they decided to take the opportunity to murder people and steal their property. So I hope I don't come across as too cynical or pessimistic, but if you are a member of a minority group and your neighbors start dehumanizing you, consider getting the fuck out and moving to a safe place. I'm done speaking.
Yeah, look, that is a very accurate and see the world for what it is. And I'm a direct evidence of that. We had a choice, which was pick up arms and kill our neighbors. We decided not to do that. So, yeah.
So, Fadi, so your family had to leave their home for 20 years. If
Correct.
you would have decided when they said to you, hey, we're going to give you some money for that land, you wouldn't have a prayer to go to court and say, you know what? No, I want to fight. I want my freaking land back. It's my land, right? You really don't have a choice. You lost your land.
Yeah, we could have. We could have. But the thing is, it's really sad. But if you grew up in a village and nobody wants you there,
So all the Christians were removed and their properties were taken, not just
correct. My grandfather's and great grandfather's gravestones were destroyed. This is just the reality of war.
People, it's not really taught in America. I don't know how many Americans are in the room, but it's considered a taboo to talk about America. But for example, in Los Angeles, there's a neighborhood called Boyle Heights, which I encourage everyone to visit. Boyle Heights was a Jewish neighborhood, and non-Jewish people moved in and started murdering and raping the Jews. And 100% of the Jews in Boyle Heights sold their property and fled to the west side of LA. And so we in America, we don't like
33171.
Yeah, we don't like to think about the ethnic cleansing, the racially motivated ethnic cleansings that happen in America, because it's considered taboo to talk about. But if you really dig in, the same shit that happens in Lebanon does happen in America. It's just a little bit more sub rosa. I'm done speaking.
Maybe less bugs.
Yeah, and by the way, like vice versa. So the Christians did the same thing. So I want to be clear about that, just to be fair. But I think right now the Lebanese government has this small window of opportunity to start to reverse the role that it plays and start to become a proper government. The current president is a very, very honorable person, very clean history, not part of the clans or we call them the Zama, which are the corrupt people that Shuki so eloquently accurately called out. But there's a new, there's a potential for this new leadership, which is the president who was the commander of the army, who has no political affiliation, no sectarian violence, and kept the Lebanese army together despite a bankrupt country and despite a very terrible war. So he's there. And then you've got this prime minister that's more of a, aristocrat, kind of Harvard grad. You guys won't like him because he's the ex-president of the ICC. But at least he's not, a warlord or a drug lord or a mafia boss like the others.
He's the mafia. He's the fucking piece of shit, corrupt person. What the fuck are you talking about?
See, I told you wouldn't like him.
There is nothing to like about a piece of shit.
See, didn't I predict it?
Wow. Let me give you a Nobel Prize for your stupidity.
I still like you, Shuki.
And I don't like...
Although I could use a few less death threats.
News good.
All right, it was nice talking to you guys. Have a good night.
Okay, this is tarot cards.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good.
Where are you from?
I'm from Uranus.
From what?
Uranus.
Very nice. What is that?
It's inside your tortoise. It's inside your tortoise.
Oh, do you understand where she's from?
I am from Uranus, which is inside your tortoise.
Have you taken Ozempic?
I need to take me some Ozempic because I had too much chocolate fudge cake.
Is that a man or is that a woman?
It is a guy, apparently, who has a voice like a female or a eunuch, somebody who's had their testicles removed. Yes. The fact he can even get his voice so high is rather impressive.
Yeah, it's a guy. I will be back just a moment. Let me see who's here.
Talk. Fred, are you there? Oh, I see. Gotta read sometimes.
So how do I know about this then, if that's not the case?
Wait, how much?
Whenever it ever came up, I always
David,
said,
how much did you pay for that painting?
He paid $3,000 fucking
No, hold on. I'm not gonna say.
He paid $3,000. The fuck is this for
I'm not
painting?
gonna say.
For a fucking painting that he probably just stood there and just like fucking splattered paint all over it. I mean, it probably looks like shit. It's probably some abstract paint.
It's a very nice painting.
Oh, okay, Hunter Biden. I love your paintings too. Hey, Edmund's here.
And for the record, Goo, the painting was done a while ago, but I just was not able to pick it up because it's a very big painting, and I don't have a car that's big enough to pick it up. So I needed to either have a friend who has a pickup truck or something. But it's not on him; it's on me. I just need to. Logistics.
Wait, hold on. Where do you guys pick this up from?
Okay, this is Tarot Kabbalah, Hypnosis, NLP, Meditation, ASMR.
Rosicrucian Society, which Aleister Crowley joined in 1898. The order offered a systematic and clear approach to the mystery traditions. It is said that one of the goals of the order was the transformation of Western social systems through its work with symbolism and ancient wisdom. Crowley's life's work was an attempt to extract and unify the essential truth of all traditional schools of wisdom and religions, and make the truth available in one complete system to help modern humanity in the search of God realization and oneness. Crowley originally intended his deck to be a correction and updating of the classic medieval tarot. The Crowley thought.
The universe. Keyword Saturn. Completion. Cosmic union. Travel liberation from bondage. Burning of karma. This is the last card of the major arcana. It closes the circle which began with the Fool. The great task has been brought to completion and returns to the innocence and ingenuousness of the Fool. The drop disappears into the ocean, and the ocean pours into the drop. This completion is at the same time a new beginning on a higher level of being. The final goal is reached, the return to the original cosmic oneness. Now you see yourself and the world as it really is. Eye of Horus in the upper right. All garments and masks have become superfluous, useless because you are at one with your original nature. You are whirling, caught up in the perpetual dancing motion of the universe. The universe. Keyword set. Now you see yourself in the world as it really is. Eye of Horus in the upper right. All garments and masks have become superfluous and useless because you are at one with your original nature. You are whirling, caught up in the perpetual dancing motion of the universe. The boundaries of your small eye dissolve in orgasmic union with the universe. The nude woman dances the dance of liberation. Through the eye of Horus, she has seen into the nature of limitations. With this insight symbolized by the sickle she holds in her right hand, she cuts through the web of ensnarement. Even the gigantic serpent of transformation has lost its function. The energy has been transformed and a new quality exists. The serpent has outlived its usefulness. There is nothing left which its poisonous bite could destroy. Now you see yourself in the world as it really is. Eye of Horus in the upper right.